Sheesh. Ladies and gentlemen, icon walking, New York's finest.
Come on.
Pollinated the seeds of rap and hip-hop culture all around the world.
Speak the truth.
Here to celebrate a new year, new birth, new life, new energy. This is my brother right here. I'm so honored I got a chance to be a part of his documentary and speak peace about all of his accolades and accomplishments. And when I see him, I smile. And I'm so happy that we're friends. And we still here. Give it up for the legendary Ralph McDaniels, citizen.
Yeah.
Come on, video music boxes in the building.
Hip-hop, we here.
We here. Hold up, hip-hop, we are.
That's right.
We are hip-hop.
Hey, look, man, it's always good to see you. I feel like I'm part of the family with y'all now, so I'm good.
You are, Ralph. And honestly, I'll be taking time off to do other projects. I was going to ask you if you would come in and co-host with Heather and Tracy sometime.
I would love to do that. That'd be an honor.
We already signed up DJ Premier, man. You think you up to it?
Oh, man. Well, DJ Premier got the raspy voice. I'll come with the Brooklyn style of it. He got the Houston style of it. I'll come with the Brooklyn style.
With the Brooklyn. So what does that mean? You're gonna steal stuff out their purses? What does that mean?
Don't do that.
The Brooklyn style. What does that mean, Ralph?
Hey, you know.
Yo, Ralph McDaniels is here. Congratulations, man. This past year has been a great reflection point for us in our culture. And it's been great because a lot of people have been getting recognized that haven't been recognized in years.
Yes.
They've been on major platforms, major stages, whether it's the Grammys, on sporting events, the whole nine. What was this past year like for you? Because you are one of those people.
Yeah. When we did Yankee Stadium on August 11th, and I brought out Kool Herc, and we honored him. It was, we were in the Bronx. It was Yankee Stadium. It was perfect, Yeah. And I looked out at the crowd. Later on, I brought out Nas, and I looked at the crowd, and it was packed, and I was like, man, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is what it's supposed to be. I do say that I wish we had more hands-on with that, us as the culture, and because hip-hop is a business right now, I don't think we were ready. And we weren't ready, and there's plenty of people that are billionaires and millionaires and got a whole bunch of money that could have had a little bit more say-so on what and how it went. But other than that, it was a perfect night.
What kind of things would you, because here's the thing, we don't have to put a limitation on this celebration, right? Because it's been 50 years. Let's keep celebrating until we can't celebrate no more. What kind of things moving forward would you like to see done in celebration of the culture, or some of the people you feel should be identified, or in what ways you feel like we can even extend the job we've done so far?
Well, I'm going to send a rest in peace to a brother named Eddie Chiba.
Eddie Chiba.
Eddie Chiba. Eddie Chiba, man, he was the first MC I ever saw when I went to community college. He was on the mic and he was rhyming and he had the crowd going back and forth. Yes, yes, y'all, to the beach, y'all, that kind of vibe. And I was like, this guy is amazing. Like, I want to do this. How can I get involved? And like I heard about him and then I saw him in person and I was like, this is crazy. He just passed away. So I just want to acknowledge him because he's not a name that most people don't know. He comes from that era of Hollywood and Lovebug Starsky and Busy Bee and the early guys uptown. They say, oh, that wasn't hip hop then, Ralph. It was hip hop. It was rhyming. It was the vibe before hip hop really took off. That's why we made hip hop records, because of those guys, Hollywood and them cats.
DJ Hollywood?
That's right.
And Eddie Chiba.
And Eddie Chiba.
Okay.
And Lovebug and many others that didn't get the popularity that they had. But if you were on the scene, you knew if they were on the flyer, the flyer was it.
The flyer was the shit. The flyer was the Instagram post.
I was going to say.
That was the original IG story. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. If you was on that flyer, that meant a lot. So, acknowledging people like that, I always push that. I work with the Paid in Full Foundation. We acknowledged Scarface and Rakim this past year. And that was one of my things, was to, let's talk about some of the people that were, on the scene that never got the acknowledgement. And I brought up, a few of those people. So hopefully one day we'll be able to recognize them. But moving into spaces like, like I had a meeting with the, the Museum of Modern Art, and I meet with the Met, and I meet with all of these spaces, these institutional spaces that are here forever. And the audience that goes there clearly loves hip hop.
Right.
I don't care what color you are. You love hip hop.
You love hip hop. You may not even know you love it, but you love hip hop. Yeah.
Right. And so just pushing it like that, pushing it forward because we belong in those spaces. And look at what Hove did with the Book of Hove at Brooklyn Library. I work with the Queens Library, and we were starting to do that like maybe 5-6 years ago. That whole hip hop in the library thing, and and when Hove did the thing at Brooklyn, it was out the park. So that was a good mark to set because when Hove does it,
everybody's
right.
the door opens.
Yeah.
Right.
And even Brooklyn Museum right now with Swizz and Alicia showcasing all of their art.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's all from Black artists. Incredible.
And it feels fun. We want to go to those places, but sometimes, we don't see ourselves on the album cover, on the flyer.
On the flyer.
Yeah, we don't see each other on the flyer.
Yeah, so you don't feel invited.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I know, and I'm a pivot, but when in the restaurant industry, like in our neighborhood where I live up in Harlem, a lot of new owners were coming in, and they were creating these restaurants and these spaces that wasn't conducive to people in the neighborhood, right? So none of us wanted to go to the restaurants that were in our neighborhood.
A space of comfort.
Place of comfort, right? And they're in our neighborhood for our resources, right? And so a lot of times, even with hip hop, the places and spaces where you'll see these things, they wouldn't make it inviting for us to be there. Yeah. So I commend the Brooklyn Library in Queens. Even in Oakland, we set up a tribute of Oakland hip hop culture at the Oakland Library near Laney King Tech, and I was actually in there. They featured me and Boots Riley.
Nice.
Boots.
Wow.
Big up Boots.
From the Cool, they got some of our.
An exhibit?
It's an exhibit, and so we used to do like how Def Jam had their jackets. We had All City Record jackets. That we did, and they put all of our stuff in there.
It's needed. The importance of you guys in that community is what makes it hot. That's what gets the gentrification to come.
Yeah.
Brooklyn was hot. Biggie, Jay, everything was hot. And then it got gentrified. So why did you come here? Because it was hot. We made it hot.
We made it hot.
Right. Let's talk about it.
That's why those restaurants come in. We make it hot, right? But they don't want to share in the dividends.
Right.
It's all, hey, man, how long did you work? And then we're going to talk about the book. We were talking about it today. Ralph has a new book, Roscoe Learns About Video Music Boxing. It's pretty incredible. But we were talking about our kids, and I want to know, when we came into the game, it took years before King Tech and I made money, before anybody wanted to pay us, especially.
I just started making money 2 years ago.
Really? It's been that long, Ralph? You should have said something, man. I would have treated to the mill. But how long did you work before you made a profit? How many years, you say?
I don't even know. When I started making money, I couldn't even believe it. Probably when we started doing music videos. So that was, early 90s. I started in 83 with Video Music Box.
Okay.
So maybe 10 years, we were still hustling for 10 years almost. I mean, you got a couple of dollars here and there, but it wasn't like, drug dealer money, like when we walked in the club, we wasn't over there.
Y'all didn't have the VIP.
It was bottle popping money.
It was a bottle popping. When you tell your daughter that, because he has an amazing daughter, by the way. I remember when I sat and did the interview.
Yes,
she was for your series. Showtime did. Mass Appeal did. Yeah. And I met your daughter, and I was flattened, floored by her. She and I have a daughter like that too. I have a daughter that
daughters.
Yeah, these daughters walk in the room and just light up the room, and they own the world, and that means we did our job, right?
Yes.
But they not willing to do the same sacrifices that we did. Like my daughter graduated from college and got a job offer. And the money I thought was great. I was like, yes.
That was back in the days, Dad. It's not like that.
It's not like that no more, man. So so how was it with your daughter and you passing the torch? And does she listen to your education?
She listens, but that's not her actions. Her actions is like, no, you charging too less. Charge them more. This is not 1995. What you doing? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think they got it. They got this. They got that. They got this.
Wow.
I got to get my cut, Dad. I'm like, yo, I hear you. All right, so see what they say. She said they agreed to it. I said, okay.
Oh, snap. How old is your daughter?
36.
Okay.
Shout out to the daughters, man. Getting their dads paid. Was she the inspiration behind the book?
No. She wasn't. But, so the book was a combination of myself and a young lady named Shaw Donaldson. Shaw Donaldson is from Baltimore. Big up B-More on the check-in. And she's a teacher and worked in the public schools. And she was introduced to me by her uncle, who said, my niece wants to do a book on, on hip hop, and she doesn't really know too much. Ralph, would you be interested in doing something with her? And we got on the phone, we started talking, and it's like, anytime you meet somebody for the first time, it's 1 out of 10 that it might click off, and we clicked off perfect, and I got her, she was serious about it. She really didn't know too much about hip hop, but she knew about education, and that's the part that I needed help with, and like, okay, how do we put this together? And we got workbook here, we got a coloring book. How do we do that? And she said, let me do a mock of it. And then you tell the story about Video Music Box, and it's called Roscoe Learns About Video Music Box. So it's a guy who's, kind of moved out the hood, and he wants to show his son how it was back in the day. So he takes him back to Manhattan and takes him to Times Square, and there's imaginary like breakdancing going on in the street, and like back in the days, and it's awesome because it's a coming of age for folks, and now they've got 40 years old, they got a family, they got a house, they got the cars, and they don't want to let go of their roots. So he's taking his son Roscoe back to the neighborhood.
Can I read from it? I haven't read it yet. It's a dry read. So if
we believe in you, Sway.
Thank you. The morning shined bright through Roscoe's bedroom window. It was the first day of summer. Roscoe sat up in bed and yelled, "Yeah, it's summertime. I'm out of school." Roscoe reached for his cell phone and turned on a hip-hop song. Roscoe is a 7-year-old boy. He lives with his father and mother in an apartment building in the Bronx, New York. Roscoe does not have any pets. Then you go into the workbook part. This is what I like. This is where I would excel. All right.
It's not easy,
It's
bro.
not easy. I know it says fill in the blank from the story. So it starts the morning, and it's a blank. Shine bright through Roscoe's bedroom. So you got to remember the word that was in. So this is for retention.
Yes.
So when you read in comprehension. So as you read these things, they're sticking, and you actually know what it is. So you feel in shine bright through Roscoe's bedroom. I like this.
Yeah,
man.
keep it between the ears.
Yeah.
Because the kids are so quick, and they give up, information, they get it, and then it's gone through from their mind. I said we originally it was supposed to be a coloring book. I said we got to put something else in here because they'll run through this coloring book like it's nothing. So we got to put some other things in here, and that's why we put the workbook part of it. So that'll slow it down a little bit because they could do all this on their phone. But we want it. I like the idea, and when I was a kid, and I'm not sure if the listeners, I used to like to doodle and draw little things. I mean, I wasn't an artist, clearly, but I was, I didn't know I could create that with my hand and some type of a crayon or marker or something. So for all of the people that were like that, this book is for your kids.
I love it, man. And so you have this book in school curriculums already, or where can people get it?
We're working on that. Yeah, you can get it right now. Actually, we're doing Barnes and Nobles, so we'll be in Barnes and Nobles after this Saturday. And this is the first bookstore we're in. Well, there's not too many bookstores anymore.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, there isn't. Yeah. Mostly online, right?
Yeah, so we do sign-ups. We do in-house, book signing, and I do children's reads in the schools. The schools have been ordering them, and that's important because we sat down with a bunch of principals of black schools who were black principals, and they said we love it, and they all were like, we're gonna order it for our schools, and that was across the East Coast. So they're in some of these schools already. Yeah,
your daughter getting you money, dog.
Yeah.
Go to her, man. I ain't mad at her.
Hey, look, it's something that when I was coming up in school, like in my documentary, when I told the story, I used to be in all these hardcore places and hanging around. You know how we do, putting our lives on the line
every night just for a good time.
For a good time. And then I was like, I didn't grow up, it was, I hang around people that was in the tough neighborhood, but I grew up in a house. We had a car, and, I had a basement, so I had a little space to move around. That's why I could DJ in the basement for hours and hours, and my mother would be, turn it down. And so, I had that space, and that was a blessing because not everybody had that space, And I wanted to tell my story. I didn't want to. A lot of people front when they talk about I grew up in the hood. You didn't.
No, you didn't.
You ain't grew up in the hood.
Come on, kids. Come on. Or they grew up and was considered a hood, but had nothing to do with hood activities.
Right. So look, we talk about our truth, and everybody's truth is what it is, and that's what I wanted to do when we did the documentary. And my parents was always about going to school. When I said, I don't know if I want to go to college, my mother said, you crazy, boy. You better get your butt out of here. You're going to college. And so I went to college. I got a degree. And it helped me, because, people say, oh, it doesn't help. I'm like, that's bull.
Yeah.
When you get in certain situations, in a competitive situation, and you say, well, I got that degree right there. And they like, oh, okay. So that puts you in that group over there. That, you need it. And so, yeah, there are some people that, are just talented and they do their thing. But, don't let this hip hop thing fool you, man. It's entertainment. What Fat Joe said that all his raps was a lie.
95% of them. Fat Joe don't want them used. They taking them words and using them in court.
Hey, look, right. That's what's going on. So
that's crazy.
It's amazing what's happening right now in the world, and we just have to make sure that we move forward and take care of our families. Self-preservation, is the key. Don't worry about, what the next person's doing, and keep it moving, man.
Ralph McDaniels, icon. Tracy, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, Ralph, what would you tell the Roscoes of the world, in your opinion, are the top 5 hip-hop music videos?
Oh, music videos. Whew.
You got scared. I know when you thought you were going, Ralph. It's different.
Okay, so I'm just gonna name videos that I direct. How about that? Okay, Cream by Wu-Tang Clan.
Wow.
Nas, It Ain't Hard to Tell. Black Moon, Who Got the Props?
Who Got the Props? Yo, look what I'm wearing today.
Oh, he got the Duck Down music
hoodie.
joint on. That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Camera's over there this way.
Oh,
X-Clan, Heed the Word, because we're in Black History Month. And one that I produced, my partner Lionel directed, Self-Destruction. Stop the Violence Movement.
Incredible.
Hey man, there's some footage that King Tech and I got
Yes.
that we lost.
That happens.
Yeah. Is it what are some of the biggest lost moments you had?
Whew. When a cameraman wasn't recording the sound or the video, he had the cap on the side.
When the camera guys just
Cap on.
because you're so excited you forget the little things.
We in the club. This is back in the days now. We in the club. It's smoky. It's wild. We like, okay, you got it. He's looking at me. The girls is dancing around, and he's occupied. And you didn't turn the camera on. You didn't hit play.
Wow.
So we've had those moments. It was something, man. I remember we did something with LL, and he lost the whole thing, and I was like, I said, nah, it can't be. I saw you holding the camera up.
In disbelief.
Wow.
But yeah, we've lost some moments. But what I've been doing now is digitizing everything I have. So
Absolutely.
everything that was on these tapes is now a file, and people have seen. My collection is crazy. All these tapes, but many of them are digitized now, and we're going to start doing some events around that. I'd love to do something with y'all because people just never saw some of these things once or twice on Video Music Box, which is just a New York thing. The rest of the world was like, I didn't know that this happened, or that's where that came from. Often I hear people say, oh, this was like Jay-Z at Summer Jam, and me holding the mic, and he's talking about, well, he doesn't talk, he doesn't say anything. People go, oh, that was the end of Rockefeller, and Jay was just overwhelmed that night.
Yeah, when this is a famous clip where, was that the same time Michael Jackson came out too? Michael Jackson came out on stage at Hot 97 Summer Jam, and you caught the interview right after, and Dame Dash, Memphis Bleak, Freeway, everybody's there, and they're going bonkers. They can't control themselves.
Word.
Rightfully so. Right.
And Jay is just like staring off into the clouds, and you said
he was just overwhelmed. Yeah. It was so much. Yeah. It took to get to that. Just to get to him to come to the venue probably was a lot.
Yeah.
Then he's there. Then you did it, and everybody's there. His family was there, like his nephews and the whole Rockefeller. And everybody, you know, when they see these, I see these comments. They go, "Oh man, that was the end of Rockefeller." And so one day, and when we shot the documentary, I said, "Jay, you see the comments when he says, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about." I said, "Can you tell me on camera how you felt that day?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So he did it, and he said that I was just overwhelmed, man. I couldn't believe that just happened. Yeah. He said none of that was true about that was the end of, you know, Rockefeller or anything. None of that was true. It was that he was just overwhelmed, and he couldn't believe that they had pulled it off. That was one of the biggest moments in hip hop up to that time.
Wow, hold on, let that breathe for a second, man. Jesus. Wow. I'm curious because I'm coming from a behind the scene mindset. I'm coming from a producer or a director mindset. Michael Jackson walks in. Where are you and your cameraman? And were you?
So Michael Jackson, well, according to the station, they said Michael Jackson's one of the cameras. I was like, "What are you talking about? This is a giant stadium." So they were like, "You can't have any cameras. Ralph, don't pull out that camera. He's going to get back in the van and leave." I'm like, "No, he's not. He came all the way here." So
ask for forgiveness, not permission.
We hip hop. We hip hop.
Hip hop, right? Especially this.
We gonna get it. But, you know, there was so much security, so many people that when he did get out, it was like a wave of people, so we couldn't get to him. So we got to it from the side, and then we got, you know, Jay after. But Michael Jackson was just like, and he just pulled up like, you know, it was, you know, like 11:30 at night, like pulled up, and he was laughing in the back and talking. And Jay was on stage like, "We got Michael Jackson, or we got a special guest." He wasn't paying no mind to Jay and them talking on the stage. Like, they were like looking back like, "Where's Mike?" And Mike is in the back, laughing and playing around.
Having a good time. He
wasn't, it was nothing to Mike.
Yeah.
This is light.
Right?
This is light.
Was light work. Summer Jam, Jay-Z and Mike in the back playing
around.
Wow.
What was his demeanor like? How close did you get to him?
It was Michael Jackson. It was the icon, you know, he had some kids with him though. I'm not sure why he was out so late, but for real. And I was like, you know, like, where them kids come from? But, you know, that's how Mike moved. You know, he got the kids with him, and they all come up and they get on stage and stuff. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to look at DB.
I'm sorry. I'm telling you. It's Mike. Mike, come on, Mike. First of all, Mike is my first hero. Mike, I'm born a year after Mike.
Okay.
So when I was coming up to Michael Jackson, we got to get Michael Jackson album, Jackson 5. Diana Ross presents Jackson 5. That's what it said on it. I was like, this is me. This is me right here. I'm gonna be like Mike. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was Mike. You know.
Mike, how tall was Mike?
A little bit taller than me. Very slim dude.
Slender, yeah.
Yeah, very slim dude. And clearly a lot lighter than he was when on the album cover. So
damn, Ralph. Come on, man.
Was he taking pictures with anybody? Like, were fans coming up to him, or were they respecting his space?
Yeah, I think security kind of kept whoever he came with is who he kind of was hanging with. And then when they said, "All right, we got to go to the stage," they all moved, and at that point it was just security.
Ralph, will you mind taking a couple of questions?
Sure.
We got Ralph McDaniels here. Big round of applause. He's the greatest. There's only one GOAT at this. There is only one GOAT at this.
Hey, big up Soul Beat. Big up Soul Beat.
Big up Soul Beat, yes. I was just shouting them out. Did you hear me shout out?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's Ralph McDaniels, and then Soul Beat.
Soul Beat in Oakland, you know, was the first show that I heard about. There was what was it called? Budweiser Superfest. This is before hip hop, and my man was doing that tour. He was working on. He said, "You ever heard of Soul Beat?" And I said, "No." And he said, "It's the show. It's the show in Oakland, in San Francisco. That's the show." And so when I finally met the cats from Soul Beat, big up to
Chuck Johnson.
Yeah, you know, I was like, "Yeah, I heard about y'all." She's like, "Yeah, because they always talk about you, about we." I said, "I know y'all been here. Y'all been here."
Who was first, Soul Beat or Video Music?
I think Soul Beat was before me.
Jeez, I gotta stand corrected.
Yeah.
Soul Beat.
I mean, listen, Soul. It was called Soul Beat.
Soul Beat, like
so
Soul Train.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Wait a minute, y'all. I stand corrected.
But they know that.
They know that.
They know that. They know that. They ain't paying you no mind sway. They know.
They know.
They know your heart. You know where your heart is at.
Soul Beat is where, Tracy? In Oakland. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tracy. You got it right. Yeah, Tracy.
Slow sit up.
Tracy is so sharp today. All right, we're going to come back, talk with Ralph McDaniels, 888-742-3345. Ralph McDaniels here, Video Music Box. He got the new book, Roscoe Learns About Video Music Box. It's an opportunity for us to tell our stories in a great format. This is what kind of book would you call? Learning book or a
yeah, it's a learning workbook, coloring book.
Interactive book.
Yes, thank you. See,
and
the
it's
book it's got
I was gonna
colors,
say
and I've been asked that question a few times, but I'm gonna take that if you don't mind.
Interactive book.
good. Yeah, that's right. Ralph.
Just
Thank you,
contributed
Tracy.
to the culture. That's
right.
all. You know, Ralph, I was wondering when you were talking about sharing that story about Hove and Michael Jackson, it brought to mind the evolution of archiving and documenting. And, you know, there was a time where it was few people who were given that task
Yes.
of holding the camera, of holding the mic. And we're in a day where everyone's phone comes with a camera. You can use it as a mic. How do you feel about that evolution? And maybe if you can give, is there a way, things that folks should think about when they are going to document
Yeah,
before they start, so it's not looked at as like invasive?
yeah. I mean, I think that the phone is awesome because one thing about your phone, it documents the time, the date, and you can download it to another source. You know, we didn't have that before back in the days. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do that. And if people, you know, go to concerts or go to parties or events or something at their college or whatever it is, you know, you might be the only person that will keep it. Like some people may not have interest in it. And that becomes part of history. And history tells a story, and it tells the story of a particular region. It might be in Chicago, it might be in Baltimore, it might be in Oakland, wherever it is there's a story that needs to be told about that particular community. Because you're in a community. You know, we talked about that a little earlier, that the community is the culture. Hip hop is a culture, and the community is just where you came from, and so those moments are important. So I know everybody's not thinking about saving, you know, that clip, but if you are like me, who is a nerd about that kind of stuff, I save everything. I've saved everything since I've shot since 1983. So I have, like, the Run DMC doc is out. That's like 30% my footage in that new Run DMC doc.
Really?
Because
Wow.
I was there. You know, like, I lived in Hollis with them. Russell was like, I got a group called Run DMC, and listen to it. And he played It's Like That. And I was like, when's the bass line coming in? And he played Sucker MCs. And I was like, yo, this is dope. And so I was like, all right. And then next thing you know, they were on the radio. They were at the Disco Fever in the Bronx. And then they were on stage, like, in front of 10,000 people. I was like, that was fast. But, you know, those moments happened so quickly that Run DMC just went and did what they did. And then I had the footage so that we could look at those moments back, you know, in Jamaica Park in Hollis, Queens. You know, so archiving is my baby. When you said archiving, that's my
Yes.
thing, you know. I'm not an archivist technically, but I do the work. And so big up to anybody who's an archivist, because that's important to tell our story. And people want to do documentaries all the time. I'm like, do you have footage of it? Do you have pictures of it? That's how you tell the story.
That's how it begins.
Yeah.
What about concerts? You know, a couple years back, we've seen a lot of different artists come out and say, yo, I don't want any cameras at my show.
And comedy shows.
And comedy shows in particular. Is that to our detriment, or is that something that we should accept because now everyone is a documentarian? It's important for their own memories and for their own family.
Yeah, I know. I've been in a couple of those situations. Like, oh, you got to put your phone in some kind of bag or something.
Yeah.
And I always feel a little uncomfortable about that, but I get it because there's a lot of money maybe on the line for that they're getting to broadcast this somewhere, maybe 6 months from then, and they want to make sure that nobody's putting the whole concert on IG Live.
Right? For free.
That's true. Yeah. Good ass point, right? Yeah.
And so, so I get it, you know. But as long as somebody's documenting it too, even the artists, they have their own like crews, you know, like they roll with now. So, you know,
And
that's
concert
important.
films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Renaissance.
Right. I went to the
Taylor
Renaissance
Swift.
with my daughter. Back to my daughter. We were going to see Renaissance, and my wife, and they were like, I was like, I don't know if I could sit through that. Like that's for y'all. You know, I love Beyonce, but I'm not. You know, it's not really my thing. And so he's like, no, we're going. And everybody was dressed up, and they were dancing around in the aisles. And it
For
was
the film.
right for the film. And I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Uh-huh.
I get this. I get what this is. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, B. I see you.
Did you ever film her coming up?
Well, Destiny's Child. Yeah. All of the Soul
Wow.
Train Awards and all, remember they used to have a press day.
Yeah, the press day. You got all those.
I got all of those with Destiny, a couple of them, and backstage when she was behind the scenes, like of music videos, a couple of music videos we did. Yeah, she done the work.
Hell yeah.
She's made herself like she don't have to be available now. She's done it. She was available. She was there.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to do something with her, she made herself available. So she's put in a lot of work. So. You know, and now, you know, country song. I'm like, yo,
That's country song banging. Texas Hold'em.
hot.
I'm learning a little line
A little
dances,
jig.
all that. Yeah.
Right. It's a line dance.
Yeah, I got to do line dancing.
Right.
Ralph.
We'll see.
When we get to our age, I'm sorry, Sway, we get to our age, we line dance.
We line dancing. It's simple. All right. Hey, DB, what you got?
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about the video being how you tell the story, the visual aspect, and that's a big component for me in terms of like how I remember certain songs and you know growing up with all these different outlets of showing music videos. I wanted to ask you about the evolution of the music video because you know in the early stages of hip hop coming up, you know you had stuff like The Message or Self Destruction that were portraying what was happening in their surroundings and their environment where they were growing up. Then it became a little bit more flashier, you know, in the 90s and things like that. And then it really went over the top where it was like, how much money can we spend to get the, you know, the nicest car or whatever, the best outfits and jewelry and all that stuff. And then now I don't know where it's at in terms of like, are they doing more
15
grassroots?
seconds.
Yeah, because now it's like TikTok and like social media as
15
opposed to
seconds.
like
Yeah.
really people really competing music videos for spots.
Right.
So I don't know. I just wanted to get your take in terms of like how important it is not to devalue the music video.
I think that the music video gave birth to a bunch of major directors and feature film directors. When you look at, you know,
Yeah, Hype Williams
X.
doing
Ice.
Belly.
Gary Gray, you know, all these
Yeah,
people,
Gary Gray, yeah.
that came out of music video, and many more than that. You know, because it gives you 3 minutes to tell a story. You went back in the days when you'd watch Rap City and Yo and all these shows. You could tell a story, and you learned how to tell that story, and then you started to do it with feature films. Many people, that was their goal from day one, to do music videos and then go to feature films. And so I think that taking away that opportunity to tell stories is not good. I still think that there are some great music videos out there that periodically people tag me in, yo, Ralph, check this out. I'm pretty sure they do that to you, Sway.
I get it all the time.
And, you know, and I'm like, man, but nobody's seeing this. Like, how come we not seeing this? Because there's no show. And it's on YouTube, but if you don't know it's on YouTube, you ain't looking for it. I had an executive tell me at BET one time, nobody wants to watch music videos no more, Ralph. That's dead. Because they can watch it on YouTube. I said, but how do they know that the Bad Boys featuring K-Love by Inspector Gadget is on YouTube? And he's like, what? I said, right.
Exactly. It's going to take that show. But then, too, I think if even though they're everywhere, right? But if Ralph McDaniels curated a hour-long video show of videos of his choice, why he likes them, giving the context to it, the backstory to these artists today, you know, I would watch that. I would want to see a curated video playlist
experience,
right?
And it would lead you to other things, which is what happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's people ask me all the time, yo, man, you should bring it back. And I said, well, we have to have some executives somewhere, get out of the lazy boy, y'all, and try something a little different. Get on the edge, because hip hop is always on the edge, and it's not costing y'all nothing but me in the studio, talking. And I don't think it would be that difficult, So that's an easy. It's not an expensive job, and we pull up some music video, and it helps the catalog of that these people have, and it would sell, And I think it would move some other catalogs forward as well.
Oh, I got an idea for that too. All right, Ralph McDaniel is here, 888-74. I know how you could create different verticals from that too. Ooh.
Yeah, the wheels is turning.
Well, all of these labels talk about, oh man, we got these amazing catalogs, Ralph. I said, well, but y'all are selling your own catalog. That's corny. We want to get the dirt. Like let me go to some footage of Wu-Tang in Staten Island in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
I got that too. So we could show some of that, and then, okay, let's play Protect Your Neck now. Boom. But y'all tell it like it's a beautiful story. Everything was not beautiful about hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh, yeah, it's an amazing album, The Purple Tape, blah, blah. Yeah, right. But let Ghost and them say it, and let Ray and them say the story. You know, that's what we need, because you got somebody sitting in the office, and they just want to, no, this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to keep it real simple. We don't have to have any interaction with anyone. And we'll just put the music out. And I'm like, that's corny.
That's
Nobody
corny.
wants rock and roll didn't do that. Come on, man, don't do that to us.
There you go, Ralph McDaniels. There you go, Icon Talking. Kev is in Charlotte. Kev, what's your question?
Hey, Kev.
Cooler. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Happy, what is it? Tuesday. Yeah.
Just happy, Kev. Go ahead, man. What's your...
Right on. Hey, I really just had a comment. Mr. McDaniel, appreciate you, man. Appreciate your contribution to the culture, hip-hop and music and everything visually.
Thank you, bro.
I really am looking forward to this workbook, what Tracy called it, the interactive workbook / book. Just because it's implemented into literacy. If y'all remember me, I'm always calling about education.
Absolutely,
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
what
sir.
I put you on, sir. Go ahead.
But I love how you are coming from the old era, and I look at it as a giant catching up to the future, and you're bringing that to our children. You know what I mean? We got music out here now, and a lot of us adults may or may not relate to it or adapt to it, but we even got the older ones coming up, taking that big giant step forward, saying, like we're still here, and, this is what we're bringing to the culture from back in the past that your parents know about, you know what I mean, as far as coming from the kids.
Yes,
so
sir.
I definitely appreciate that being implemented into literacy and literature and in a fun and interactive learning way. So I'm definitely looking forward to it being in Barnes & Noble. You said after this Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And Sway, I'm also a big fan of Rap Dads. I actually got Esteban's book from him a couple of months ago.
Wow.
Promoting that.
Dad
So I'm
Commandment.
always looking forward to adding things into my home that I hear from you, man. So I appreciate that as always.
Man, Kev, you all right with me, man.
Yup.
Come on, man, Kev. You are all right with me.
Stand
Rap
up,
Dads,
guy.
we got a
Yes,
new
sir.
episode, too. Rap Dads, Ralph, we have to get you on Rap Dads.
I'm with it.
Yeah, and it's just people come from the culture and they talk about their experiences being a father.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like what we've been talking about today, right?
Ooh,
And
daughters. Yeah.
daughters. We ain't even talking about sons. And then we had Coda the Fiend on the show just this week, and we're featuring Coda the Fiend on the show. We've had Jim Jones. We've had a lot of people just really open up. We got Rap Dads merch, too. If you go to the Rap Dads Show on Instagram, the Rap Dads Show, we got some cool hoodies that we're doing and other things that we're doing around.
I like that. I need one of those.
Yep,
Nice
I
little
got you.
segue there.
You like that? Thank you, Kev. I'll put you to work, baby. You a super citizen, all
I'll
right?
put you on. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Love y'all.
Love you too, man. Oh, man, I love our
That was
callers,
great,
man. That
yeah.
was great, man. That dude is solid.
Showing off.
Ralph, thank you.
Woo!
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you, Ralph.
Hey, Ralph, can you keep coming back up? 'Cause
Well, I do have a job, but if you can give me a little heads up.
little heads up.
I'm with it.
Ralph has agreed to co-host the show on days when. Let's get him. Okay. So Torch to connect with you just so we have your number. You got Ralph's number? Nope. Damn.
So, hey, Torch, I got it.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Ralph, thank you very much. Anything you want to say in closing, brother?
Hey, man, look, thanks for the love as always. Follow me at Video Music Box if you're out there, and get Roscoe Learns About Video Music Box right now. You need that in your house.
You need that in your house, man. All right. Thank you. On that note, we're going to conclude our show.